up, B-Lays? How you doing? Welcome to Chronicles of the Bus Driver. I am your host, B-Lays, a.k.a. Chronicles of the Bus Driver, a.k.a. Chucky T. Lays, a.k.a. all that other shit, bus dropping, whipping and shit, B-Lays, you know what I mean? You know what's tight to me? Kids that get their ass whooped on the bus. Kids that get their ass whooped on the bus by their parents or other motherfuckers that's on the bus and shit. That shit be raw as fuck to me. Like straight up and down on the real tip. This one week alone, it was, I say about 6 incidents where a kid got beat the fuck up by their parents or by somebody else that rocked the bus. That shit tight though. You know what I mean? That shit mad raw. And I laugh at the shit happening. I laugh more when it's the parents and shit, and I don't let the kids see me laughing when they getting beat up by their parents and shit. But fuck cares? I'm a bus driver. I never give a fuck, you know. Shouts out to my shouter. Hey, thanks for the topic. You know, dig? Let me close this bus doors. I don't want nobody to know what I'm doing. I never want nobody to know what I'm doing. You know, dig, jack, straight. But yeah, let me sit back here, you know. But yeah, though, I like to see kids get beat, man. That's the rawest. That's the rawest type of justice that any bus driver can ever see. Because like I'm gonna start with Monday, cause I'm gonna start with Monday. Monday, like this happens almost every day on my bus. At least I get to see at least one time a kid get beat up or something. I get to see something that makes me smile. That I gotta drive this bus all day from 5 in the morning to 5 at night. I get to, like, it's something that makes me smile, and that's to see a kid get beat up. I don't know, and that's been happening ever since I took over this route, you know, like, about a month and a half ago or so. Well, however long I don't know how long it's been, but probably a month. I don't know, shit, but I've been seeing a lot of that ever since I got this motherfucker. So, it's cold to me, like, so. But it always be like the same people, and I like when those same people get beat, because them be the problem kids. Them be the motherfuckers that have problems and shit, you know. Like, and every day, this little boy, he like a perv or something. I don't know what the fuck wrong with him. He a pervert. He a real live pervert. Excuse me. Like a girl would walk past and he'd touch her butt, you know, like. And then she'll look, turn back and like, hey, dude, you better stop touching me. You hit me again, I'm gonna fight you in your shit. Like, I don't lie to kids or cuss, but I understand her pain because dog keep touching her like dude, don't nobody want to be touched by nobody looking like that. He ugly too. I know it ain't cool to call kids ugly, but dog ugly as fuck. Like, he really, really fucking ugly, and it is. That shit funny as fuck to me though. You understand me? So I guess one time he did that to somebody, and she turned around and started wailing on his motherfucking ass. She slapped him upside his head or whatever, and he got a crooked eye, like his eye go each which way and shit. And I think she knocked that motherfucker straight for a short period of time. The dog looked up looking almost regular. That shit was funny as hell. And he got a little sister, and she look a badass 4-year-old. Like, she bad as fuck. Like, she'd turn around. Like, they sit right in the seat, right behind me. So then, like, I can't see what the fuck they doing. So all I gotta do is look up to that mirror, and I can see what the fuck they doing. She's standing on the seat backwards with her hood off, hitting whoever sit behind her. And I don't know what happened. Like, this happened. I guess this happened yesterday when she did that. And why, when I get to base this morning or whatever, they're like, did you have an incident on your bus about two older girls jumping on a K4? I'm like, well, I don't know nothing about them jumping on a K4, but I know about that K4 who was turning around in their seat, hitting them with that hood. So if they did something to her, I didn't see it on the bus. It must have happened some other time, but I didn't see it on the bus. I guess she went to school with a couple bruises on her, like, so she said that she got whooped by some older kids. Hey, I don't know shit about that, yeah, they did. I don't know nothing, because I didn't see them beat you up, but I seen you slapping them with your hood, and me personally, I wouldn't want to get slapped with nobody's hood. So if it happened, it happened, and it did. So, but this, so, what's cold about it is I see their daddy every day. I drive past him every day, and then, like, I just started telling them, like, I think about a couple of days ago, that they be acting out on the bus or whatever. So, this morning, he seen to me, he came and hollered at me, he was like, so what they be doing on the bus? I'm like, well, little dude, he always get into it with girls and stuff, whatever, and, what happened the other day is he ended up getting into a fight with a girl. So, and I don't know what happened, I don't know what he did to her, but at the same time, he must have touched her the wrong way, and she didn't like it, and so she turned around and started whooping his ass. Like, he just snapped on him, and then he took him off the bus and started whooping him. Like he took off his belt and started whooping his motherfucking ass. And that shit was tight. Like, I'm laughing my motherfucking, I'm rolling on the ground laughing. I'm rolling on the floor laughing my ass off. ROTLMAO, you know. Dog, it was that funny. And it wasn't a lot of kids on the bus, but it was enough on the bus to see and laugh at him too. But they didn't want to laugh at him because they knew that shit was kind of fucked up. But because he was getting his ass whooped by his daddy, and I love justice like that. I don't never have to write paperwork for parents like for kids like that. All I gotta do is tell their parents, and it's on and populate. Like I get to see the justice real right. I get to see it done right. Like that doesn't make a kid not want to act up on your bus no more when their parents whoop you in front of them and you laughing. Dad don't act up on my bus like that. Because that wasn't the first time he got whooping. So I want to see how it turned out when he get on this bus today, because this shit happened this morning. Because he yelled at his motherfucking ass, and that shit was tight. Like, I was scared for him because he yelled at him good. He said, see, look, your ass will end up going to jail. Don't call me. Don't call me. You keep fucking touching these little girls, they're going to end up calling your mother. You can go to jail for that shit. Like, he's snapping. Like, hey, I tried to tell him, man. There's all like, I said that in the background, like, hey, I tried to tell you, man. Like, I said it just like that. Like, he said, good looking, my nigga. Like, I like, yeah, good looking, my nigga. Straight up. Like, no problem, man. I love to see kids get in trouble. I've been loving to see kids get in trouble since I was a young age. Bus driver justice, that's what I call it. Bus driver justice. Because if you go through the paperwork, your shit get done. But if you go through directly to the parent, I bet you won't have no problem out of them motherfuckers no more. I guarantee you won't have no problems out of those motherfuckers no more. So, yeah, so that wasn't the first time a kid got beat up on the bus. And it was the next stop. I should say, was it the next stop? Yeah, the very next stop. Not the very next stop, but a stop after that. The stop after the next stop. Two girls, they sisters. They both got beat up and yelled at by their daddy. That shit was so fucking funny. Like straight funny. Because one is a K4 and the other one is like, I say about second grade. She should know better. Her little ass, she always want to stand up and go roam the bus or whatever. So I put her in the assigned seat and shit, so like if she get up, I know that she getting up and shit, you know. So he got on the bus and asked me, he says, how the little one be doing? I'm like, well, she don't know how to sit down either because she always standing up in her seat, and every time something happens, she always call her big sister like her big sister's supposed to be saving her or something. Like, I don't know, I don't be understanding, like, if that's what it is, but your big sister ain't gonna save you from, like, bus driver. Like, I mean, like, every time I tell you to sit down, you gonna call your sister, like, she gonna make me not tell you to sit down or something. So I told him that. He was like, what? For real? He's like, hey, come here. I was there about 5 minutes. I ran around 5 minutes late because of the fact that I seen all these kids get beat up, you know, beat on and whooped and shit. So he whipped the 4-year-old ass, and he said, how about the big one? What she be doing? I said, well, she don't like to sit in that seat. She got a assigned seat, too. She don't like to sit there. Like, I look up, and she be way in the back, walking the aisles and stuff. He's like, oh, for real? Hey, come here, little girl. He whooped her ass, too. He whooped her ass. He got a good ass. And by this time, it was people on the bus that would laugh at your motherfucking ass for getting whooped. So the kids laughed at him, and I bet they didn't get up before we get to school. And all this shit happened today. Just imagine the shit that happened the day before yesterday and the day before that and the day before that and shit. Because, and this is one little dude, he a K4 too. He get on the bus every day, it depends on who dropped him off, and he started crying. I don't be understanding that shit. That shit foul though. Like, dude, you need to grow the fuck up, man. You gotta be a part from your family one time. And one time his mama dropped him off to the bus. Usually it'd be like his mama. These are the people that drop him off. His mama, his uncle, his auntie, and some other person. I don't know what to call it. But like if his uncle dropped him off, he mad cool. Like he'd get on the bus and be regular. He'd sit down in the seat like he'd be ready to go to school. His auntie dropped him off the bus, not so much. Like really like he snapped today. Like this nigga. He got on the bus, sat down, and when she walked away, I closed the door. This nigga was right by the stairs, right here. Right here. Now, if I didn't close that door, he would have been out the door. That's where he was at. So, I'm like, damn, this motherfucker got up here pretty fast and shit. So, I'm like, damn, like, and then he started crying. He started bawling the fuck out. I'm like, damn, what the fuck is wrong with dude? Like, dude, you gotta sit down. You gotta get the fuck up. I don't know, man. That shit was crazy, though. That shit was mad. I'm like, dude, get up. And then she told me to open the door or whatever. But one time, his mama dropped him off at, dog. That was the coldest thing ever. I guarantee that's probably the coldest thing ever. So, his mama dropped him off and he tried to pull that car, she did. And then next thing you know, she's like, hey, get off the bus and whooped him. And by this time, it was a lot of people on the bus. It was like almost, my route was almost done. We was almost headed to school. And he got whooped. That was a crazy experience, man. He got whooped. Like, whooped. But I love that. Like, the bus driver justice, man. Bus driver justice. So, like, and then, like, it's also keep it in a line, like, when the other kids govern themselves, like with the little dude. He was touching the girl. Her big brother started whooping him. Like, that was tight, too. I don't be understanding what it is, yo. But, I mean, it should be funny. But when it comes down to this school bus shit, I call it bus driver justice. Because it's everything that you want that you can't do yourself, you know. Somebody else can do it for you. A parent, a brother, a big brother of a little kid, an uncle, you know, somebody else on the bus. And then all the fights be legendary. Like yesterday, like the one dude, like I guess little dude looked at his sister all wrong, his little brother all wrong, whatever, and he just started whooping his ass. Like he really whooping his ass. Like, he a 5th grader, so he was beating dog ass. And next thing you know, the little brother jumped in, and then the little sister jumped in. Like, so it was a 3 against the little dude. He just stood a chance. I normally don't do writing people up, but I had to write him up because he was whooping dog ass bad. Like, he was really whooping his ass, and I just couldn't help that shit. I had to write that shit up, but hey, bus driver justice. I bet dog won't fuck with his little brother again. And I bet he'll sit down in the seat. All this always stems from kids don't want to sit in their seats. And once you sit on your feet, it's all good. I mean, wouldn't nobody beat you up. Your mama wouldn't have to say nothing to you. You know. So, I mean, kids getting whoopings be tight. Whoopings, like real live whoopings. Like when the motherfucking parents take off the belt, you know, it's time to do damage. Like, they don't just take off that belt for nothing. They don't take out the belt just to show it. Not when you riding the school bus. They take that motherfucker out and do damage. I mean, I would too, though. Like, let my kids be fucking up on the bus. I'm like, hey, check this out. Come here, little homie. I might try to punch him in his chest as hard as I can. Or make him lose breath, like, let him know, like, okay, if you get out your seat one more time, you might not live to see your next birthday. He's fucking with the bus driver, you know. Like, you know, me being a bus driver, I'll take that shit to heart, you know. I ain't got no kids yet, but at the same time, like, if it happened, it happened, and it did. Straight up and down on the red tips. So, I mean, that's what it is, man. That was just a quick little summary of what went down for this whole week. This shit, from Monday to today, that's what happened. So, just let you know that, man. Straight up. Should be going down on here on 1026. I'm cool with that. I'm going to keep driving this bus, and I'm going to keep doing this thing, you know. And the kids coming on now, like, I already got a couple kids on here right now, but, I'm going to have to get at y'all later, next week or something, you know. Have new topic, new shit to say, you know, you know. Keep it all fresh, fun, funky for the 112 and beyond. Pound salute for the world blow up. You ain't got to do nothing in this world but stay black and die and pay taxes. Bye.